Welcome back to another Identity Car Care video. I'm pretty excited about this one. It's MOT day for the Super Turbo. So here we're here with the car. It's raining right now, guys, so I'm not going to bore you too much. I'm going to jump in. We're going to take it down to the MOT station, let it go through the MOT. I'm not going to be able to record in there. I just don't want to, I won't be comfortable doing that. So I'm going to get it in its MOT, and then when we get out the other side, I'm going to give you guys an update. The car's back home, yay! Back with the car, guys. This is actually the following day, still raining. That's just Scotland for you. I just wanted to give you a little show and tell you that it passed, yay! I've got a certificate in there, it's in the house. I've just forgot everything. I was quite bouncing about yesterday, the fact that I managed. Never mind this, guys, don't worry about that, that's coming later. I was quite bouncing about the fact that I've finally got it through an MOT. I'm going to come inside and put the door down because it's freezing. Yeah, so it passed. We've got it clean straight through. There was a couple of niggly little moments and stuff, but getting the profile created and stuff for the MOT, I was just a bit sweaty and just like anxiety. I've got problems with anxiety. I'm holding the phone here so my arm's killing me. So we've got it through, we've got it MOT, we've got it registered and it's profile created. So the next step in this video is filling in the registration form. I'm super excited about this. I can finally get a shot of this car. The car is insured, it's got chassis insurance on it, and it now has an MOT. So the last thing we need to do is register it, and the road tax will be included in that. We've received this package today, and I know by the shape and the feel of it what it is, so I'm going to flip it around and show you guys. I've just torn the edges here so that I can remove this. Oh, that's upside down. It's the plates for the Super Turbo. This is a mega day. I've been waiting on this day for ages. So excited that we can finally get these plates on and go driving the car because it's now registered. We've got the plates, it's insured, it's taxed, so we're good to go finally. So let's head out. Before we do head out, this is a pure mood swing moment, I would say. I knew the plates were due to arrive because I obviously ordered them. Now, I've been in contact with Danny, and the last thing to do was reality, take the car a run and get it ready, and the next step was paint, and Danny was kind of in the loop with trying to do that. This comes the bad part of the video, and the bad news on the video is there's an incident happened with the Super Turbo since I last recorded on it. Basically what has happened is, and I will take you guys out in just 1 second, I knew the plates were due to come, and I decided that I would start the Super Turbo up, let it run because it hadn't started since I was waiting on the registration stuff, so it had been sat for like a month. So I decided to get it warmed up, get it ticking over. There was a couple of little niggly things I wanted to do on it before taking it onto the road, and ultimately something has went disastrously wrong. As you can see, the bonnet is up for a reason, and this is to show you guys that there's a catastrophic failure in the engine has occurred. Apologies guys, it's raining as you'll see there. Basically what has happened is when I put the key in the ignition and I started it started up first time as it always does. It normally idles a little bit high and then it settles down. And there was a clinking noise, which was a really bad oh my god moment, what's that? So I immediately shut the engine off. I kind of went over here and decided, for some reason I was drawn to making sure it had all its coolants and everything. That's not coming off now, and you'll see there it was a bit low and it didn't really have much presence of coolant in there. So I decided that to just put extra coolant in it and then see what happened. When I done that, this is what happened. As you'll see in the previous little cut there, that we have a dramatic coolant leak coming from the timing case. Now, unfortunately the water pump seems to have collapsed or failed, as my first diagnosis without actually determining and stripping anything down. The water pump is in the timing cover, under the timing cover, and basically it's driven off the cam belt now, so the timing belt. The question now is, what is the overall extent? As I mentioned, there was a clink, and I'm now panicking that was the clink the water pump collapsing? Did it collapse internally? Did it collapse externally? Has it caused damage to the block? Has it caused damage to the head? It's just like, did it collapse externally? Has the belt jumped? Has it bent valves? Was that the clink? Was it the valves bending? I don't know at this point. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Like, I could actually break down and cry at this moment that I just brought it out on a Sunday to just get it kind of flowing, get it ready, get it on the road. The plates, I knew were coming the next day, and I'm absolutely like devastated. Next, it's not the end though. I don't know, to be honest. I'm absolutely heartbroken that you put so much time in and then ultimately this kind of happens, especially with the excitement that was coming with getting the plates, getting it on the road. I knew there was still going to be some hiccups when that surfaced when you actually start driving it daily, but I wasn't really worried about that. I was more excited about getting into the car, and obviously the next step was going to be painting it with Danny. So what's next? First step is going to be, we're going to have to determine the extent of the damage. We're going to have to get the engine resting on a stand, crack off that engine mount, strip the cover off, and then hopefully we can try and visually inspect to begin with, and maybe try and time the engine up, and I'll turn the engine by hand as well to see if there's anything knocking. There's two scenarios. There's scenario A and scenario B. A being that the pump has collapsed internally and we might get away with it by timing the engine, taking the belt off, and then replacing the pump and putting the belt back on. The previous owner had done the timing belt. Is it an issue there? Did they change the water pump? Has the pump seized? There's so many question marks right now. Scenario A is that we ultimately can do it without removing the engine, etc., and it's just a water pump, and touch wood, that is the case here. Scenario B is that it's bent valves and the cylinder head would have to be removed. Compression test and etc. will reveal that before we just start ripping engines out. But ultimately, if that's going to be the case, then the whole engine would actually have to come out, simply because it's not a complicated engine. I mean, it's just a small 4-cylinder engine, but there's a bit of complicated things that go on around the engine bay, being supercharged and turbocharged. So it's not just as straightforward as ripping an engine out of just like a Corsa or just a small car like that, or maybe even just a standard Micra, for example. That will happen. Whatever the car needs, the car is going to get, and the silver lining in this is that there will be more videos on it ultimately. The car it's not worthless as it is, but it's no use to me. I don't think I would, if I decided to sell it, I wouldn't get what I would want back for it. It would actually make more sense to put the extra into it. If the engine has to come out, there's obviously a lot more that we can do. There's a lot more new parts that we can replace and inspect and double check while we've got full access right around the engine. And the engine bay could also be addressed and get smoothed off, etc. So it would be kind of mega. The bad side and downside to that is that with all the other projects on the go right now, that would basically move to the back of the list, which is really sad, and I would have to get it inside and dry stored. It wouldn't be back on the road this year. There's so much coming to the channel right now that wouldn't have the time to do that. I'm not going to rabble on too much. We're going to have to, ultimately, it's a wait and see game. On the next episode on the Super Turbo, we are going to show you guys the extent of the damage, get this timed up, do a visual inspection. We'll bring you along the way and show you everything that's happening. So I appreciate you guys tuning into this episode. It's a high and a low. Anyway, we've got so much more to do, so much more going on. At least that's happening right now as well. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It lets us grow and reach more, and if you give us a little thumbs up, that would be really appreciated. We'll see you guys on another, hopefully more progressive identity car care video.